Warm greetings from the high 10. This is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. It's hump day in America. Yes, everybody, it's Wednesday. 2 more days to the weekend. Amen. I'm bringing you a commentary pertaining to Stanley Ford, an older African American male out of the state of Ohio. He is now standing trial again for killing 9 of his neighbors. I will bring you the said information. Fox 8 is the source. Summit County, Ohio. Opening statements are scheduled Monday for Stanley. That was 2 days ago. The 62-year-old is charged with killing 9 people in arsons in Akron in April 2016 and May 2017. The judge declared a mistrial in his first trial. His second trial has been delayed multiple times, most recently due to COVID-19 and previously for a mental health evaluation. He's charged with starting a house fire that killed a couple in April of 2016. Just over a year later, police say he started another house fire down the street that killed a family of 7. And in this said commentary, you will see an older picture of Mr. Ford. He was bald with a beard and mustache. The youngest family member was 16 months old. This is a death penalty case. The victims are Lindell Lewis, 66, Gloria Hart, 65, Angela Boggs, 38, Dennis Huggins, 35, Jared Boggs, 14, Deja Huggins, 6, Kyle Huggins, 5, Olivia Huggins, 3, and Cameron Huggins, 1. A jury was seated in the case over the last several weeks. This said information is brought to you by Fox 8 if you need verification of the storyline. Thank you all so much. No views at the moment, but that's okay. Okay, that was by the Beacon Journal for those of you who need a source. Thank you so much. Well, maybe I've already read Fox already. Okay, that was Fox 8 that I just brought you. Sorry about that. The next source will be beaconjournal.com. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you all are well out there. Several testify about animosity between Stanley Ford, neighbor who died in first fatal fire. An Akron woman who lived in the Sherbondi Hill neighborhood testified Wednesday that she saw Stanley Ford arguing several times with Lindell Lewis, the man who lived across the street from him, leading up to the fatal fire that claimed Lewis's life. Tiffany Gary said she stopped her car and told the 2 men to cut it out. I told them they were too grown, Gary said. They need to leave it alone, go back in their houses. Gary is one of several people who took the stand in the first day of testimony in Ford's capital murder trial to detail the animosity between Ford and Lewis. Lewis and his girlfriend died in a fire at his Full Street home in April 2016. Ford, 60, is accused of starting this and 2 other fires in his neighborhood that claimed the lives of 9 people, including 5 children. His trial in Summit County Common Pleas Judge Christine Crow's courtroom is expected to last 3 weeks. Prosecutors claim Ford had disputes with the residents he targeted and considered himself the neighborhood angel. Defense attorneys, however, argue that other people suspected in the fatal fires could have been responsible. Ford has maintained his innocence from the start. Gary, who lived on Full Street before the fires but has since moved, said Lewis often had large gatherings on his porch that involved people drinking and being loud. She said this irritated Ford, who lived directly across from Lewis at the corner of Fultz and Hillcrest Streets. About the case. Hello, Air Force. Thanks for joining me. Stanley Ford is accused of setting 3 fires in his Akron neighborhood between April 2016 and May 2017 that left 9 people dead. He is being charged with 22 counts of aggravated murder involving different parts of state law, faces the death penalty. Victims, once again, Lindell Lewis, 65, Gloria Jean Hart, 66, Lewis's longtime girlfriend, died in the first fire. No one was injured in the second fire, which damaged an SUV parked in a woman's driveway. Dennis Huggins, 35, Angela Boggs, 38, and their 5 children, ages 1 to 14, perished in the third fire. So Mr. Ford is being charged with killing a boyfriend and girlfriend in fire number 1. Fire number 2, an SUV was set on fire inside of a woman's driveway. Who was that said woman? I do not know. Then we have Mr. Dennis Huggins, 35, and Angela Boggs, 38, who lived together with their 5 children, ages 1 to 14. All of those said people died in fire number 3. Ford is being held at the Summit County Jail without bond. She said Lewis told Ford, mind your GD business. This ain't your house. Gary said Ford at one point told Lewis, this is my neighborhood. Scott Riley, one of Ford's attorneys, asked Gary if she ever heard Ford threaten Lewis. She said she did not. Geraldine Lewis, Lindell's sister, said she went to a cookout at Lewis's house in the fall of 2015, and several people were hanging out in his front yard. She said a man who lived across the street yelled at them to go home and complained they were being too loud. Lewis said Lindell told them, just ignore them. No, just ignore him, excuse me. Rebecca Wright, a longtime Hillcrest resident, recalled once when Ford and another neighbor went to Lewis's home because Lewis was having a loud gathering on his porch. She said Ford and the other neighbor left abruptly as if they were upset. Okay. So Ford and another neighbor went to this said Lewis's home on one occasion. And he was having a gathering on his porch, and obviously maybe there was some words spoken, and Mr. Ford and the neighbor left upset. Wright said she also heard that Ford was upset because he understood that Thomas Hughley, who lived in the basement of Lewis's home, had broken into Ford's house when Ford wasn't home. Hughley survived the fire that killed Lewis and his girlfriend. Now, I'm going to play you commentary from Court TV, and possibly there will be some information in that testimony from an older Black gentleman that he knew of who lived in the basement. He didn't necessarily know the two who died in the fire, but he knew of the person that lived in the basement, or knew of the girl. Let me rephrase. He knew of the girl who visited the guy who stayed in the basement of the couple's house. And he has testified this week to that said information. And that's been causing quite a bit of stir in the courtroom of who knew who. And I guess the prosecuting attorneys are saying, well, I thought you told us that you knew the people who lived in the house, the decedents. But the guy says, I knew of the girl who was going in the basement apartment. She used drugs, yah. You can follow this content on Court TV, which is airing on YouTube. Terrence Sibley, an independent contractor and longtime friend of Lewis and his family, testified about how he installed surveillance cameras on the outside of Lewis's home in December 2015. He wanted to make sure his house was secure, Sibley said. He was going into the hospital to have hip surgery. While Lewis was explaining where he wanted the cameras placed, Sibley said the man across the street pulled into his driveway and exchanged words with Lewis. Then when Sibley and another man were installing the cameras, Sibley said the same neighbor said something derogatory to them. Sibley said Lewis overheard the comment and was grouchy about it, mumbling a complaint. Sibley said he couldn't recall exactly what either man said. It wasn't a good relationship, Sibley said, of Lewis and the neighbor. The camera Sibley installed ended up capturing images of the man who attempted 3 times to set Lewis's house on fire April 18, 2016 by spraying liquid on it and lighting it. The 3rd time the fire started. When Sibley heard about the fire, he said he reached out to Akron detectives to make sure they were aware of the surveillance cameras he had installed and about the hostility between Lewis and his neighbor. This said commentary is by the beaconjournal.com if you need verification for this storyline. This was posted March 11, 2020. So he had already been to trial for these said crimes, Mr. Ford. Because as I state, what I just read you is from the Beacon Journal, dated March 11, 2020. So that was a year ago. And he's now on trial number 2. So sorry about that. That was my TV because I've got some content I want to play you guys. Trial number 2 for Mr. Stanley Ford. Did he kill his neighbors? Is the man on the surveillance camera Mr. Ford? Is it possible that other people could have done this? Another person could have set these fires. Did he kill his neighbors? That is the said commentary, and that is the said commentary for this evening live. Thank you all for joining me. Please check the queue for 2 other uploads pertaining to the woman who dumped the bag of remains in a Virginia dumpster, and the young lady found in Lake Michigan who was pregnant at the time. That is video I uploaded just a little while ago. And I also just uploaded content pertaining to the dark life of R. Kelly. Please check the queue for the said videos. I will be back with another upload pertaining to what took place at the trial of Robert Sylvester Kelly later on this evening. This is a live stream. Feel free to join in the chat and participate in the live stream. I would like to have people join the panel who have had neighbor problems. If you can refrain from using profanity and speak in a diplomatic fashion to give your said commentary that you've had with a neighbor, a dispute, please feel free to hit the link when I drop the link. Everyone has had neighbor issues, neighbor problems, but do you kill your neighbors? Is it right to kill your neighbors? That is the said information. Beacon Journal is my first source. Second source I just brought you. And the other source I just brought you pertaining to this information of Mr. Ford is from Fox 8. It's a very interesting story. Right now in the courtroom, what has transpired, an older black gentleman has testified pertaining to who he knew lived in the basement at the time of the couple who lived in the house that caught fire. Also, this discrepancy of a woman knowing Mr. Ford. She thinks it's him that's sitting in the courtroom, but naturally he has dreadlocks in his hair, so he doesn't look like he did at the time of his arrest in 2016. He was a bald-headed black man at that time. Has she identified the right man? That is the said information in this live. Hold on one second.
Is that no? But that wasn't done in this case by you, correct? Correct. In addition to the photos that Detective Dorsey took, am I fair in assuming that that is the complete job?
Thank you all for joining me.
The crime scene.
Hey, everybody in the chat.
Conducted and did on April 18th, 2016. I'm sorry, repeat what you said. That's the sum and substance of what you did. You didn't do anything in addition to what we've already talked about. You took photos, you made a copy of the hard drive, and then you copied that copy on this other DVDs, correct? Detective Dorsey also collected a DVR from the from 719. From the house that had been on fire. Correct. Okay. That is the sum and substance of what the crime scene unit did, correct? And I assisted with a canvas with Detective Stewart. And you talked about that on your direct examination, but there's no paperwork whatsoever about you conducting a canvas, is there? I would have thought she put in her paperwork, but I'm not certain. I haven't read it. And you would agree with me that in your paperwork, there's no mention of anything that you did at 7:30 Folds, correct? I believe. You have a copy of my paperwork? I do. It's not on my paperwork, but I believe it is on Detective Dorsey's paperwork. So I'm accurate when I say that there's nothing in your paperwork about 7:30 Folds, correct? Correct, because it's in Detective Dorsey's paperwork. And 7:30 Folds, so we all recall, is the pink house that is behind 1370 Hillcrest and across the street from 719 Folds, correct? Correct. And you have testified in a prior proceeding, correct? Correct. And you remember we talked about 7:30 Folds at that point in time, correct? Correct. Do you remember me asking you, as it relates to 7:30 Folds, I said, when we talk about 7:30 Folds, did you make any attempt to look at the DVR unit at 7:30 Folds? And you answered no, correct? Correct. You remember that, right? I do. And then after that, I said, did you make any attempt to determine when those units were unplugged?
Thank you all for joining me.
No, correct?
Just playing a little snippet of the trial that's currently taking place. It's day 2 in Akron, Ohio. A man has been accused of killing 9 neighbors. Did he kill his neighbors? Was he justified in killing these people who caused him problems in the neighborhood? Do they have the right man on trial? It's trial number 2. Thanks for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Also, super chats are welcome during the live. Amen. Thank you.
Really quickly, Detective Ball, we talked about taking the whole hard drive. You said on some occasions it's appropriate, better, right? On some occasions it's appropriate. And it could give you a greater time frame upon which to look, see what was recorded, correct?
It would give you everything that was on the hard drive.
Not just the 1 hour that you were directed by Sergeant Ross to pull back, correct?
It would give you everything that's on the hard drive.
Not just that 1 hour that Sergeant Ross asked you to play, correct?
Correct.
Thank
you. Yeah. Second call, in your portion of the investigation, were you able to learn whether that DVR system at 730 volts was even functional?
It was unplugged. Thank you, Air Force.
Okay.
It's not operating at the time.
So you don't know if it was working inside of the house or not, but it was unplugged at that point.
That's correct.
And you don't know when that was unplugged, one way or the other?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Oh, you may step down, thank you.
They're discussing the DVR of the said house of the fire.
Remember the admonition I previously given you concerning your conduct. It's important for you to be fair and attentive throughout the trial. Do not discuss a case amongst yourselves or with anyone else. This includes your family, friends, and the media. You must not post or read anything about this case on the internet or any electronic device, including your cell phones. Any such discussion, if discovered, could lead to a mistrial and severely compromise the party's right to a fair trial. Do not permit anyone to discuss it with you or in your presence, and do not form or express an opinion until the case has finally been submitted to you. We will resume tomorrow morning with a full day of testimony, starting at 9 a.m. So we'll see you in the morning. Thank you. And look, it stopped raining and the sun's up.
That man don't care about that. He ain't got no freedom. He can't see the sun. She just glad to get out of there. Shut up, Queen. Lord have mercy. Thank you all for joining me. They're doing their sidebar talking right now. Okay, thank you all. Well, I guess they'll resume here in a minute. Whatever they're going to say. Drop your thoughts. Tell me what you're thinking. They got the right guy or not? Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. I don't know. I'm assuming this is the gist of it. Let me fast forward and see if there's anything else. I think this is about the end of the video. Yeah, he's being escorted out the courtroom. Okay. Stanley Ford, Akron, Ohio. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Yes, the Queen is here. The trial just started Monday, so it's on here. He's already gone to trial before for the said crimes. It's a very interesting storyline. The question is, did he do it? Did he kill these people? Do they have the right person that was seen on the surveillance camera from the family, the guy and girl who were dating one another, that were murdered? Is Is Mr. Ford the right person? Do they have the right person in custody? Standing trial, rather. Excuse me, again. Thank you for joining me. Got 9 viewing. It's a slow day, I see. That's okay. Have any of you had any neighbor issues? God knows I have. I don't like a lot of noise myself. I don't like, problems. I don't like, people that can't follow the rules. You can't be quiet sometimes. Nothing wrong with a little music sometimes, but, every day hollering, screaming, cussing, fussing, arguing, shooting, whatever the hell people do that they don't got no business doing, I'll have a problem with it. My thing is, you want to live like a savage, go buy your ass a house. And that's just my personal opinion. Excuse my language, but that's just how I feel. I just feel like some people need to be homeowners. That's what they should be. They should be homeowners. They don't have any business being in apartments. Now, this is a neighborhood with houses. So as you see, it doesn't matter where you live. If it's a condo, apartment, trailer park, neighborhood, you can have problems. That's that. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Well, please hit the link if you want to give your commentary pertaining to having disputes with neighbors. Let me hear your voice. Devin viewing, thank you so much. This is a case pertaining to an older gentleman by the name of Stanley Ford. He is on trial for murdering his neighbors. That is the said information. Of course, he looks different now. His hair. He has a beard, gray beard, mustache, longer hair. Looks like dreadlocks. Said information. You said, geez, that was wrong. Killing your neighbor, killing your neighbors. We're talking about more than one person. He killed a guy and a girl, lady. He also killed another couple with their children. So 9 people. He also said allegedly an SUV on fire inside of a woman's garage driveway. So we have to ask ourselves, who is that lady? Is she going to testify in this said trial? It's a very interesting storyline. Thanks for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Hello, how you doing, 7 Alive? Thank you for joining me. It's a slow evening. Mercy. I see your comment, Air Force, about the 2, the woman in the lake and the girl at the dropped the bag off at the Gabe shopping store. Thank you all for joining me. Look, the few that's on board, thank you. Thank you so kindly. Well, this is a slow run. I decided to go in a little early, but I see this is oh well, but it's okay. You can get a few viewing. But nonetheless, we as people it is hard to live around certain types of people because we all do not live the same. We don't walk the same path. We don't behave the same. And it can be a problem depending on how you live and how you carry yourselves. And I know all about living around, people who don't have respect for themselves. They're noisy, they're rowdy, every day's a party, every day's a malfunction. They've got the hoop, holler, scream. I know all about it. Trust me, the queen knows. So, but there comes a point when even if you spew words out, that can lead to something, you see, and that's what happens. One thing begets another. You get mad, they get mad. Before you know it, now somebody wants to pass a lick or bring out a weapon or mess with somebody's car or do something. And this is what happens. And it's to be expected because somebody's going to get fed up. Somebody's going to get fed up. I remember there was an issue of a man having problems with some neighbors down in Florida many years ago. It was on a Forensic Files, one of their cases on Forensic Files. He didn't argue with the people, didn't dispute with the family, the children. What he did was put I think a 6-pack of Coke on their door. This is when we were drinking out of bottles. And he stuck poison down in the syringe. And it didn't affect the other household members, such as the father and the boys, if I'm not mistaken, but it affected the mother, and she ended up becoming violently ill, and she died, if I'm not mistaken. So you see, he was a quiet venter. He didn't raise hell, didn't fuss and fight with the people. He just put some poison in a Coke bottle in the top. And the mother became ill. Yes. Very interesting story out of Florida. So you do have people who vent quietly inside. They don't say anything. They don't bang on your door. They don't cuss you out when you come outside. They don't write you Dear John letters. They secretly plot their revenge. And that's what this guy did in Florida. He got tired of them children walking on his lawn. And he took offense to that because he felt like they should know better than to come through his property to get to their house. And that's what the issue was with this family, is the children would cross through his grass to get to their house. I guess it was a shortcut. And they didn't want to walk all the way around, so they would cut through his house to get to their home. So I guess he felt like, okay, they should know better, so I'm going to handle them. I'm going to teach them a lesson to keep coming on my property, walking on my damn good grass. I'm going to handle these people. Sadly, it affected a woman's life, the mother of the children. It's a very, very interesting story, I must admit. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Slow day, slow day, slow day. But I thought it was an interesting story. It came up in my queue today, and I was like, wow, this is really interesting. This guy, he stood trial before, and now he's going on trial again for killing his neighbor. So I thought, this is very interesting. If you want to hit the link to give your story, a neighbor issue you had in your neighborhood, your housing development, neighborhood, apartment complex, or another house, trailer park, wherever you live, please hit the link and tell me. Yes, anybody that's had any issues with rude neighbors, maybe it got heated. There were more than words. Some licks were passed. Somebody went and got a knife, a gun, a bat. Somebody did something. Hit the link. Thank you. Thank you so very kindly. Oh, Air Force, haven't you had some issues before? I think everyone has had some type of issue with a neighbor. It's too quiet out there. Oh, come on. I know somebody's had an issue with the neighbor. This is America. We don't get along. We surely don't. Thank you all for joining me. Well, this is a slow run, I see. Well, anyway, it's to be expected. I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's very interesting to this man setting fires. You know, that's something that starts in childhood, setting fires. For those of you who did not know that, many sadists, rapists, child predators, rapists, serial killers, I'll say serial killers mainly, that is one thing they found in their past. They set fires as children. So don't you find it interesting? Here is a man, elderly man, who has set fires to the neighbors' houses, their cars, because he had a dispute or disputes with these said people. If we are to believe he is the culprit, it's very interesting. Very, very interesting information. But I think they're going to have a problem with one of the women neighbors who testified, who basically said he was a nice guy. She spoke to him when she was out, blah, blah, blah. But naturally, how he's looking today, it's not how he was looking 5 years ago, 2016. He has more hair now. His hair is grown out since he's been incarcerated. It's kind of, I guess, dreadlocks or whatever. He was a bald-headed man at that time when he was arrested, 2016. So he looks a little bit different. I don't know how this is going to pan out. Just imagine if he did set these fires and the 12 members can decide to let him go and say, I don't think he did it. They can't really pinpoint that he's the guy on that surveillance camera. Can you imagine him walking around now? Him free, and he done set fires to folks' houses and their cars and then killed 9 damn folks. And it's no telling what else he's done if indeed he is the person that set these fires and killed these people. Who's to say what else he's done that he has not been caught for? Okay. I don't know, Air Force, what you're talking about. You're always doing, you all always wait to do stuff. You lost some stuff. I don't understand what you're saying. Ooh, Lordy. Well, what is it that you lost? I'm trying to understand what could you have lost? It's very, oh, Jesus, help me. I'm looking at myself now. I don't have any idea what you're saying. Your screen is blank. Maybe you should look at it on your phone. Stop using the computer. It doesn't seem to work out when you're looking at stuff on the computer. Because when you come up on the panel on the computer, that it never works out. So I don't know. Jeepers creepers. Jesus, I don't. Well, that's the sad information coming out of Ohio. I was hoping that some of you would hit the link to give me your personal experience. If you've had any issues with your neighbors or neighbors in the past, or do you currently have some issues with your neighbors as I speak? Are any of you feuding with your neighbors as I speak? Please hit the link. Tell me what's going on with you. What do you think of this case? Do they have the right man in custody? Do they have the right man on trial? He's facing the death penalty for killing his neighbors. Children were also murdered. Do they have the right man on trial for these murders? Hit the link. Thanks for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. This is a wicked, wicked, wicked story. Very wicked. I don't know what to say. It's very interesting. If they have quality videotape or witnesses that he have done such a crime. Well, that's the whole point of the story, Air Force. This is trial number 2. This is not trial number 1. This is trial number 2. And I think there's going to be an issue with the lady who just testified. I don't think she knows if this is him or not. She thinks it looks like him. That's not going to be enough to convict a person. You think he's the guy. And then if you're speaking highly of him, of the guy that you think he was at the time he was your neighbor, that's not going to work well for the prosecution. That's going to work well for the defense, So we will see. Come on, you puppies. I know good and well some of you have had some disputes with your neighbors. The way y'all come in this chat raising hell about stuff, I know some of y'all have had some disputes with your neighbors. I know this. Somebody out there has had some disputes with their neighbors. That is the sad information. I will upload another video pertaining to Robert Kelly later on this evening when all the said information has been reported pertaining to what took place during trial. Let's see, it's after 4, so court should be wrapping up here shortly pertaining to the trial of the U.S. versus Robert Kelly. Hi, Denise. How are you, dear? Well, I got another person in the chat. Amen. 20 people viewing and nobody has any commentary pertaining to rowdy neighbors, disputes with neighbors. Denise, have you had any problems with any neighbors? Where you live? Where you lived before? Anybody? Hit the link. Give me your experience. Tell me what it was like. $21 viewing. Nobody's had any problems. It's amazing. They can bicker in that chat, but they never had no neighbor problems. Okay, Denise. Thank you. Well, I think the issue with the video is, I don't know, if they can tell that it's him on there. Well, as I state, Stanley Ford is standing trial. He's facing the death penalty in this trial. This is his second trial. I was trying to look and see what I saw. I don't know. It's a very interesting story. I must say, a very interesting story out of Ohio. I don't know what's going to happen. Trying to see if I saw any more updates in here. I don't see anything. I see a notification here about alligators, a problem for some stranded after Hurricane Ida. Well, that's the thing about an animal. They've got to live too. Nobody thought about the alligators down there in the bayou. Lord have mercy. Okay, number 99. I hear you. Hit the link if you want to give your testimony to neighbor issues. Is it right to kill your neighbor? You have problems with your neighbor. They won't listen. They won't do what you want them to do. They're too loud. You're sick of the noise. You're sick of this, that, bumping, hollering, screaming, playing music, loud gatherings, traffic, in and out, woo, 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 drug trafficking. What is it? Do you take the law into your own hands and kill your damn neighbor? That's the subject matter. Stanley Ford is standing trial in Ohio for murdering 9 people. Set the houses on fire, set an SUV on fire. Drop the link. Hit the link and give me your opinion. Come on, you guys. Y'all, somebody's had some issues. Somewhere, I know. Woo, it's a tough crowd, I swear. Hello.
Oh, there you go. How are you?
Ooh, mercy. I'm not saying.
All right, now I had a neighbor when I was down at my grandmother's house. I was working part-time at the BWI airport from 12 midnight to 4 in the morning. And I had gotten her a handicap parking permit, you know, so I would have a space to come to in order to take her to the market or whatever the case may be. But almost every day when I got off from work and got back to the house, there was somebody in that parking spot.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was...
Wait. Did she live in a house?
A house. A house. And it was a small, narrow, small, narrow street, but
did they have a designated time? I'm echoing on you, baby.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Let me do this.
Why can't you just call in and say it's wrong? I don't understand.
Why can't I call you?
Stream from your phone.
Well, because I cannot get you. I can't. Well, I mean, I think I can get streamed out, but I know I can't get YouTube on there anymore.
Why? YouTube is already in the phone. What are you saying?
My screen name has been blocked off of YouTube.
I'm talking about the name you're using now.
I'll try it.
You're confusing me. I don't understand what you're saying.
Don't worry about it. I'll try it.
You mean all this time you're gonna still keep using the computer knowing that it echoes?
Well, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't.
Was there a designated sign outside of her house, sir?
Yes, sir. I mean, yes, ma'am. Yes, it was.
Was it a pole with the handicap number and all that on it?
Yes, it was. And
Chicago. Yeah, my
sticker number and everything.
My wife had one of those. That was my first time ever seeing them like that years ago when I was up there. Hi, John. How you doing, baby? Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead and finish. So you come home every day, pick her up, and there was a car in the space.
Yep.
Did you say something to the person that owned the car?
I didn't know who owned it, but I had set out the window. I had set out the window and saw where this female was coming from, which was across the street.
Okay.
You know, so I said, okay. I said, I know what I'm going to do next time. I'll just go ahead and call 911 and have them come put a ticket on it, which I think was $75. You know.
So why didn't you say something to her once you realized who she was? What was wrong with just saying, "Hey, ma'am, this is my mother's parking space"?
Well, because the guy who lived across the street knew my grandmother, knew me because he lived there for years, but he let that female keep parking in that spot because he would come to the door with her while she's leaving out of his house, getting into her car. He knew. Mm-hmm. He knew.
Well, why didn't you say something to him then? Since she's going.
What? I'm going to take care of my way. Put a ticket on it.
I'm just asking.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to put a ticket on it. That's what I did. But he comes across the street and asks me, about the ticket. I said, well, do you see the sign? Do you see the handicap placard in my window? if you see all of that, you're gonna come and ask me a stupid, dumb question of why did she get a ticket? Be for real, brother.
Well, let me ask you this: where were you when he approached you?
On the porch, on the front porch.
So you see where I'm going with this. You didn't want to approach him about her parking there, but you see he didn't mind approaching you when she got the ticket.
Yes, that's all right though.
Did you all have words thereafter, sir?
No,
Okay, that's good.
it is.
Were you a law enforcement at the time, sir?
Yeah, but I was working part-time out at the airport.
I mean, but were you a full official police officer?
I was still working for the state, but that was my part-time was over at BWI.
Oh, okay. Did he know that?
That I was a police officer? Yeah, he knew.
So he just didn't give a damn.
He didn't. No, he didn't.
Yeah. Well, that's the point I've made about people. You have some people, they just don't care. They know what's going on. They know that you're upset. They know it bothers you. They keep doing it. Then they'll start doing shit deliberately, excuse my language, because they will. And then the fact that this person knew that you were a cop, knew that's an elderly lady's house, and still let the woman park there, he never cared.
No, he didn't.
He didn't care about her. He didn't care about her getting a ticket. He didn't care about nothing. But let me tell you, sometimes that's what has to happen. It has to hurt your pocketbook for a person to wake up and say, well, I ain't gonna park there because I ain't gonna keep paying for no tickets or get a boot on my car.
That's true.
And you just lucky that it didn't jump off, because you got people, even when they're in the wrong, it can be a jump off.
Yeah, but he wasn't going to go that route.
Yeah,
of letting it jump off.
Else, but he could get somebody else to go that route.
True.
That's what I'm saying. People can get other people to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's it. But that's it about as far.
Well, do you know anything about this storyline that I'm talking about?
I think I saw that story last year.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's part 2 now because he's standing trial again, and he just started second trial on Monday, and it's a very interesting story. When I saw it in the queue, I thought this is a very interesting story because you talk about 9 people. You like I said, they're gonna kill you one time. 9 people. That's a lot of people. Children died in the fire.
Yeah.
In the house with their parents.
Yeah.
So, do you believe in vigilante justice, sir?
No.
Under no circumstances. Oh, you paused.
No.
No. Now, sir.
No.
Should I not be asking them?
Because they can come back.
Enforcement that question.
Yeah, because it can come back on you.
Yes, it can.
It can come back on you. So, something like that. Something like that. I'll let it go. Let it work its way out. Let the higher power take care of it, and let LE take care of it. But that vigilante stuff that can cost you your life, or a family member their lives.
Okay.
So that vigilante stuff, no. Yeah, because it can one day come back to haunt you.
So as we say, we don't really know much about the story, so we can't say if he did this or not. What is the surveillance really showing? Is it a good photograph of him or not?
Yeah. Like I put in the chat, if they have good surveillance of it and they were witnesses of this guy doing these things, then make him serve his time.
Well, he's facing the death penalty.
Okay.
Do you think he should get the death penalty for killing 9 people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That goes back to the Old Testament thing, of an eye for an eye. But I mean, I know the New Testament taught another way of doing things. Yeah, but sometimes you just have to.
So what are you saying? You saying the Old Testament was an eye for an eye?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. He get me. I gotta go get him.
Well, that's the world, but that's the world we are in now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
As Trick Daddy once said, I'd rather be your mama cry than my mama cry. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the world we are in now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you before you get me.
Yeah. It's
But that's deep to set somebody's house on fire because they're noisy. Shut your mouth.
That's great. Yeah, it is.
Because I would look at it like this, whether he was there first, the longest. Once you see that you don't have the temperament for noise, it's time for you to make provisions to find you a quieter place to live.
Yeah.
You really have to find a place where you just don't have neighbors directly in front or back or beside you. And everyone is not afforded that opportunity to be in a home. Now, you're in the neighborhood, but in order to not have noise directly where you can hear it, you're going to have to get some land and some acres. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Because somebody's going to have friends over, family over. Somebody's going to traffic drugs. Somebody is going to like a lot of people. It's going to be one of the two. It's just rare you're going to live in a neighborhood where nobody has company, especially with a house. That's the reason why people buy houses. It's so they can entertain. You hear people say that all the time. They live in apartments. I wish I had a house. I wish I had a house so I can have people over, visit without people complaining. Well, little do you know, you go get that house and you got Pookie, Ray, Shamiko, everybody coming over. Now, bing, somebody across the street next door like, oh, hell to the no. Y'all too loud. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. It reminds me.
What's going on?
Yeah. It reminds me of that case that was a couple of years ago where the white guy was at the service station and then there were the black teenagers were in the vehicle and they were getting gas. Yeah.
Florida. I believe that was Florida.
Yeah. And he shot him. Yeah. And he shot him because they were playing loud music.
Yeah. That was wrong.
Yeah.
Because that's a public place that you can either leave or stay. It's not like your house. That's not like, you understand what I'm saying? You get the hell on.
Yeah.
Public place. You don't have to stand around and listen to music. Get to where you're going. If you're sitting in the car waiting on somebody and you got your window down and it's disturbing you, roll the damn window up. It's not the same as you're in an apartment, you're in a housing development or something like that, and it's right directly next to you. You can't make it stop. So, a lot of people don't like calling the police, involving the police, but sometimes that's your only reprieve is to call them. Like I said, a lot of people don't like calling the law, but hey, do you want to go to jail for beating somebody to damn death or shooting them because the stereo was too loud or they were banging, making noise? Because people can get jiggy. There's one thing I've told people, for people who are just really loud and they don't have no respect for other people, you ain't met the right one.
Yeah.
You ain't met the person that they're not getting ready to leave a note. They're not getting ready to call the police. They're not getting ready to knock on your door. They're not even getting ready to approach your ass outside. They're going to see you outside, ting, to the door. They done with you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You have people who have that type of temperament. They're not going to talk to you about nothing. They're going to do vengeance is mine.
Yeah.
Going to handle you. You have people who live like that. They don't talk. And a lot of men are like that. I'm not here to argue with you, about my peace of mind. I'm just going to go straight to the vein and be done with it. And a lot of people feel like, well, that's not a way to carry yourself. You're right. It's not. But guess what? As I said, everybody don't walk the same walk.
That's right.
I live around some people now, they don't care. They don't care nothing about nothing because they ain't used to nothing. And there's people like that, great neighborhood, but these folks don't care. That's what I'm saying. Beautiful neighborhood. Ain't nothing wrong with the neighborhood.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the neighborhood. The neighborhood is fabulous. But when you got one or two monkeys, do you understand what I'm saying? There's your problem. That's to be expected.
Yeah.
You got people that live in really nice, swanky neighborhoods. It might be 30 houses on one block, and you just got that one neighbor that's a fool, a clown. They nitpick. Or you got one that might be a nitpicker. They going out looking for stuff to complain about on people, and it's really the people aren't doing anything. See, it can go both ways. You can actually have the problem neighbor that keeps up stuff, or you can have the one that's the nosy Parker, the busy bee, and they're just out looking for stuff. Oh, your car parked you close to the curb, and your wheels over. You understand what I'm saying? Just doing nitpicky stuff. You can get yourself killed like that.
Yeah.
You can get yourself killed.
Yeah.
You know.
See, I'm a quiet neighbor because I'm a quiet person. I don't like nobody come knocking on my door asking for no sugar, or give me a slice of bread, or can I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
You start.
You not you're not coming to knock on my door for that.
Queen can't come get no sugar.
I mean, well, you can come get some peanut butter and jelly.
Look, I'm coming to get some seafood or some shrimp or something. I'm coming for no peanut butter and jelly. Give me a little piece of steak or something. Clog my arteries, right, baby?
Oh man.
Clog them up. Fabulous. But I get it. And that's the sad thing too. Being nice to people can lead to you a problem.
Yes.
Getting a ride to the store, to the doctor, to the job, sugar, syrup, shampoo, this and that. Before you know it, you got you a full live cat at your door or dog.
A full live cat.
A full live kitty cat. So now it's like you gotta sit out the tuna every day because they at your door every day. And that's why you can't be nice either. True. People tell you, well, you want to keep it, pass the baton, be nice, pay it forward. You can pay it forward to where you got you a new problem. And then when you are tired of being the go-to gal or guy, they now got an attitude with you because you now won't open the door. You now won't answer the phone. You understand what I'm saying?
I got that from my grandmother. Got that from her. She said, I want them neighbors coming up my door, knocking on my door for a damn thing. That's it. And when she was alive, and my grandpa, they lived in that neighborhood for like 40-something odd years.
It can be a problem. Yeah. I just watched a true crime story the other night where they were a mixed couple. The guy was black and the wife was Korean. They had been nice to a guy next door that tried to kill himself or something. So his brother years later started coming to them trying to blackmail them. I really didn't understand the storyline of why he would try to blackmail them, but eventually came in their house and turned on them and killed them with the mother's sword, because she was a foreign lady, a foreign man or whatever, and she had some samurai swords. He killed them with the swords. He chopped these people up for what? Drug addict. So it was like, well, he knew they had the money or thought they had the money. Hey, yes, John. And he felt like, okay, I can get what I want from these people, whatever. But see how being nice to somebody, they knew that they were nice. They saved his brother's life or something that happened with the brother who tried to kill himself. I think I said he killed himself, but I think he attempted to, and they came to the rescue, something. So here he is now looking at them like, okay, I got me a mark right now. And that's that. What you say, John? Now you wrong. What I wrong about? What I say? What did I say? You need to come up here and hit the Queen's link. But you understand what I'm saying? You can't be nice to people.
Yeah.
It will start a problem, sadly, because here they come, begging, bumming. They watching everything you got going on. You live around people like that. They're watching everything. I can say that everywhere I live, they are so fascinated with the Queen. I have never seen anything like it.
Okay.
They are worried about the hair, the clothes, the shoes, the car, why she changed the car, why she did that. Why are you watching me? Watch me. Because I'm not watching you. But you have people who live like that. They are nosy as hell. That's why I said it can go both ways. You got your nosy Parkers that like to keep up stuff. Then you got the people who just rowdy and keep stuff going all the time.
Yeah.
Always something.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true. But I mean, that's like, that's life.
It is life. Yeah. And I just see that. Oh, John, I understand. Okay. But you got people like it. Yeah, they don't got no life. Like right now, I can hear some people outside talking right now. They ain't talking about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of it's for show. Want an acknowledgement. See, I'm gonna. I have to talk you out because see, I be like that man right there because I ain't gonna start no fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I had a matter of fact where
I'm not gonna start no fire.
Yeah, where I'm at now on the second floor. They have these two young ladies that are partners and live together.
Okay.
You know, and they always smoking weed, and it's all through the hallway and everything. So I said, okay, I'm gonna fix
it. Okay, yeah, we wrong. I got you.
And so I said, okay, I'm gonna fix this.
Oh Lord.
So I went and bought the stinkiest air freshener I could find. And once I got home, I would likely open up my door, go down to the second floor, and spray all around the second floor and the first floor. And
I don't see how that would even bother nobody that's smoking no marijuana.
No, I can't stand because it stinks.
No, what I'm saying is I can't see that they would care about that because they're drinking marijuana, so they wouldn't care. They're not gonna care about no air freshener.
Yeah. But the thing about it, when they come out that door and smell that air freshener, I guess they're probably saying, who's doing this? You know, who knows that we smoking?
Well, look, if they watch Everyday Shenanigans, they're going to put two and two together.
Yeah, well, they don't know who Air Force is.
So crazy. Lord have mercy. I'm just one of them kind of people, I don't like problems. I don't like problems on a job. I don't want problems at church. I don't want problems where I live. Just stay in your lane. Mind your business. That's just how I am. Don't say nothing to me out of the way. Don't ask me nothing. Because I can tell you now, I'm just a funny type of duck. You ask me something personal, I already got a problem with you. I'm paranoid like that. Don't be asking me about when I'm coming and going and what hours do I work and why would I tell a complete stranger what hours I work? Why would I do that? Why would I tell you where I work? What I do? That's none of your damn business. Because I know if I tell you that, there's gonna be a day I'm gonna come back, the door gonna be unlocked. Don't get it twisted. You think if you're talking to somebody elderly that the door can't get pushed open, well, what'll happen is the elderly will tell somebody that's a little younger, oh, she do this, do. She gone between these hours, and before you know it, I got Pookie and Ray Ray or Bubba sitting up in here. Sleeping, slumbering, or then took all my damn goods. You understand what I'm saying? I don't take nothing. I don't even want my voice to carry to let somebody know I'm getting ready to go somewhere, do something, because there's always somebody listening.
Yeah, always.
Somebody watching.
Always.
Everything.
Yes. Yeah.
I do not like nobody asking me nothing about when I'm going somewhere. Well, when you going to your job, or when do you go? Because I had that happen recently. I thought, why are you asking me that? That's none of your damn business. The hell you watching me for? When are you going to your job? When you going to yours?
And then don't want to.
Why you watching me?
Yeah, and then they don't want to answer the question, and they be saying, "Well, why you so rude? All I did was ask you, you know." But you don't want. But they don't want to answer. Yeah, but right there you go.
It's none of your business. You don't ask no complete stranger personal questions. They ain't even unpacked their luggage. Like you want to know about their job and their schedule. That's a no. I don't give a damn if I live in Rogersville or New York City. It's none of your damn business when I leave my damn house. I don't care if I'm going to the Dollar General store. You ain't gonna never know where I'm going when I leave my house.
That's right.
You know, ask grown folks stuff like that. See, that's why I tell you the way we live here in the South is totally different than up north. Even though people are a little more talkative, a little more nosy now because we got social media. We do have some messy birds more all over the world.
Yes.
But here in the South, we talk a lot. We tell every damn thing. You got I'm telling you, you can go in the grocery store. A person will start telling you what happened yesterday. They just had surgery. They just got out. They got this, they got that. They child, the son, daughter on the run, who just got arrested, who just got out. See, you don't do that. And I don't need people who say, well, I don't care about telling people what's going on with me, and I'm transparent, and that's you. But you get to know when to keep your mouth closed, because those little things that you think ain't no big deal, like stuff about your past, whatever,
can become a big deal.
well,
Yes.
it can, because you
Yes.
might be somewhere where everybody don't know. Let's say you been in trouble, failing, whatever. You changed your life. Now somebody out of blue call you out, and now you're like, oh, okay. Oh, but you're around, remember? You ain't tell all your business. You don't tell all your business. You know, in the South, it's totally different. These people here, they tell everything. I remember a neighbor where I last was living. She did this 2 times each winter. Get out of the car, walk up the sidewalk. Woo! My lights got to get cut off. I ain't paid my light bill. What you telling me? Hey, what queen getting ready to help you with?
Can you loan me $2?
You done told me that story January of 20, then February of 21. Where are we going with this story? Well, what you want the queen to do? You can't pay your light bill because you get high, and you got a beer problem. So you got a beer problem and a crack cocaine problem. You're gonna be missing a whole lot of something. Do you understand what I'm saying? And she's one of them type of people. Made a mistake, was nice to her, knocked on the door a month ago, 11 o'clock at night, needing some bread. Then she needs some butter. So I gave her some bread, 2 sticks of margarine, and then I had an extra thing of bologna in the freezer. And I said, let me go and give her this because I probably won't eat it. I gave her that. That was not a gift for you to bring your tail back to me. So one night she knocked on the door at like 3:35 in the morning. I'm looking at the peephole like you crazy. You know, Queen can get real gangster. I stood and looked in that peephole like I was stalking my damn self. I just looked in the peephole looking at her like, what the hell is she doing standing outside my door at 3:35 in the damn morning? You're not coming up in here. You'll never get in mine unless you push it open. But see, what she did was she took my kindness for weakness. She felt like, okay, I asked her for some bread, 2 slices of bread. She ended up giving me extra butter and a thing of bologna. So now I'm going to come back a month and a half later and knock on the door for something else. No, you're not getting ready to get hell to the knob. Hell to the knob. So what happened was, matter of fact, it was really last year in the winter before the new year, because the girl across the hall ended up letting her in for some reason, because I ended up hearing them talking, and I went out and peeked at the peephole, and the girl across the hall was telling her, you need to get your life together, blah, blah, blah. So obviously she let her in. Then I found out later she went to another neighbor's door. So she went to at least 2 or 3 doors for whatever her problem was. Do you know what her problem was that night?
What's that?
She heard somebody under her bed. There wasn't nobody under your bed. That was that crack cocaine talking to you.
That's perfect.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It was the crack talking to you.
Oh, yeah.
So this is what was funny when I found out later why she was knocking on the neighbor's doors. You had a big thing of beer in the case. I'm looking at the people at you coming out the woman's apartment. So if you were so scared, why you take the beer with you?
That's crazy.
Wait a minute. You were so scared that you heard a man under your bed. So when you ran out your house, you said, well, wait a minute, let me get that case of 24 pack of beer. let me get my beer. My 30. What you should have done was grabbed your beer and went and sat your tail in your car and called 911 till the cavalry came.
Yeah.
But you don't knock on the queen's door. You can't get in mine at 3:35. You can never get in mine at 3:35 a.m.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, so
not never.
I don't have the weed problem no more.
What? Do they still live there?
Yeah, they still live there.
Oh.
They still live there.
Well, I guess
And
that's what they said. Well, I guess somebody sprayed the highway because they smell the marijuana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's the only two incidents I had with neighbors.
Well,
You know. But yours going good?
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Okay.
I have eyes on me everywhere I am, so I'm gonna
Okay.
plead the fifth. But
Okay.
one thing they do know, I ain't what you want.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Because they now tiptoes around the queen.
Okay. 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 Okay.
They already know that big gal ain't what you want. She will go off.
Mm-hmm.
I just tell people stay in your lane.
Yeah.
You don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know you. So really, it shouldn't be a malfunction. See, you to me, you're choosing to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I don't talk to you, I don't speak to you, I don't ask you for nothing,
Mm-hmm.
then there should never be a problem.
Right.
You are your own problem.
Right.
See, the one thing I've learned about neighborhoods, apartment living, wherever it is, a lot of the people were problems before you got there.
Mm-hmm.
So see, you're coming in, let's say you're a new person coming in somewhere where the people get jiggy, they're always fussing, cussing, hollering, screaming, whatever, one or two people. There's nothing you can do about that because they were problems before you got there.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of you tolerating the BS. Either you're going to tolerate it or you're going to get up and pack your luggage.
That's true.
And my thing is, I'm getting older. I don't have the tolerance.
Yeah.
I don't have to, frankly.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And nobody should expect me to because you wouldn't want it from me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you the type that you like a lot of noise, then you all right with other people fussing and cussing and hollering and screaming and arguing or whatever they got going on. You with that. And you have people down like that. That's why a lot of people like urban life. They with all that traffic, noise, barn of sugar. You see where I'm going?
I see. I see.
With that life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to. Yeah, I that's why I moved out here because I couldn't stand it anymore. I couldn't stand listening to the police coming and
oh yeah, and it doesn't. I understand sirens all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. It just became sickening. So when I moved out here about 4 years ago, and I went down the street to Walmart, got some lawn chairs to put out on the balcony, got some plants and all that kind of stuff. And I got up one morning about 7 o'clock in the morning.
And they were gone.
The squirrels are out there playing. The birds chirping.
Oh, world. I thought you were going to tell me they was gone.
It was just peace and quiet.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I get that.
Yeah, peace and quiet. The grass was green. No paths or nothing, all of that kind of crap. You know, so I mean, I am so happy. You know, some people ask me, why did you move out to the bubble? Because I needed the bubble.
Yeah.
I need some diversity in the bubble too, you know, because I'm kind of like tired of looking at this over here.
Concrete. Yeah. When you're in the city, that's what you're seeing a lot of is concrete.
Yeah, yes.
See, here in the South, we have trees and grass abundance, but you still can be in an environment where that don't mean nothing if you're living around a bunch of foolishness.
That's true. That's true.
Come out the apartment building or neighborhood, and it doesn't matter because you're around foolishness. See, that's the sad part about life is that you could actually like the town you in or the city you in, but it's where you at that moment. It's not kosher, and that is a joy stealer. People don't understand that. But see, I tell people when people are not used to nothing, they don't come from nothing. They can't value anything. How you going to value something and you ain't used to nothing? Right. You got to be accustomed to something, or you got to be taught to value things.
That is so true.
And a lot of people don't value green grass, trees, buildings, being respectful, picking up your dog poop, throwing your trash in the garbage. Don't sit your trash outside the door all day and night. You see where I'm going? Cussing, you know, bumping your music all day and night. Ain't nothing wrong to turn your little music on sometime, but then you should know that 24 hours a day, it ain't gonna be able to play all day and night. People gotta go to bed. I mean, you know. But car stereo, same thing. Comes to the point when, you know, turn it down. There are people probably trying to watch TV or sleep. Just common sense stuff. But a lot of people, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And now I just turn it up when I see the car stereo.
Yeah.
Not used to.
You know, I remember I used to be that way when I was younger.
Well, we all have lived. That's the whole thing. We all have lived.
Yeah.
But when you get to a certain age, I think you should want more for yourself. And that's just how I feel.
Yeah.
It's if you 40, 50, still trying to act like you 20 something wrong.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how it is down in the city.
With everybody, you got to be the life of the party. You got to be seen. There's something wrong with you.
Yeah. You know, because I mean, even going downtown sometimes, you know, guys my age and a little bit younger. You know, I mean, man, as old as you are, what your pants doing hanging down like that? What are you doing trying to lean, you know, smoking a cigarette, trying to pick up some young gal, you know, and all this kind of, what's wrong with you?
Look, we done left the neighborhood to the sagging pants.
Yeah,
and a man trying to get a young girl.
You know, for real, you know, it's I mean, they were the kind of guys, they should be the kind of guys that be maybe sitting on their porch or sitting around near their garage playing cards, having a beer, talking, you know, and stuff like that. But they want to be downtown, you know, trying to act like they, 19 to 25 years old, and you're not. Mm-hmm. You're 40, you're 50. What are you doing acting like a clown? I mean, you know, come out of that, you know, but that's the way they grew up, and that's the way they stay, you know, so what can you do? You know? What can you do?
As they say, each its own.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true. You know, but it can be. I just laugh at it.
Right.
You know, my mother sometimes when I go pick her up and take her shopping, she'll look at him and she'll say, "God bless him." Okay.
She wonder what the wrong man doing?
God bless him.
Well, and ever since we started talking, now they decided to crank their music on up. They don't know. Queen got a thump in here. It's sitting right behind this computer. Shut up, Queen.
All right now. Come on now.
Oh yeah. I thump it too.
Okay.
Just to let you know, you ain't doing nothing.
Beverly, get ready to turn the radio on.
She'll put it on, won't she? She'll put it on if she want to. Yeah. And as they say, don't nobody move, don't nobody get hurt. Look, I can rock with them. I don't know. That's why I sit back and I'm an observer. Mm-hmm. And you learn, you just let the folks do what they gonna do because they don't care. So you let the people do whatever the foolishness they want. What they don't know is I'm a child of God and I'm highly favored. I ain't worried about you. Yeah. I ain't worried about you. Yeah. And you have to do that because you could end up like this man. And I understand that sometimes you get frustrated. You know, maybe he was at a point, he was tired of the traffic, the noise, and maybe it was more than what people are playing it out to be. I don't know. I don't live there. But I know people can get unruly and just be a damn problem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at some point, it's like, you know, man, go to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm all for people gathering, having barbecue parties sometimes. But if you're partying every day, you should know that it's going to bother somebody. I mean, there's just no way you can party 6-7 days a week. You know, you got people in the yard, the backyard. And then we also know that when some people gather, they don't have control, especially once you introduce alcohol into the equation. You got people fussing and fighting. Now you might have somebody want to pull out a weapon. So to see, you done left a peaceful gathering till you done got crunk. Everybody's company don't rock the same. Somebody right now can have 4 or 5 people over and they're sitting civilized around the table, drinking Chardonnay and laughing and talking and playing a little jazz or blues. But then these other people, they crunk, got the music turned up, got the rap playing, and they getting somebody ready to fight.
Yeah.
Everybody don't rock the same.
Yeah.
Everybody don't rock the same. And that's where your problem comes in. Everybody don't know how to cohesively live around other people.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly they were never taught how to live cohesive. And it's just a known fact. If you come from hellraisers, people that like to fight and fuss and get crunk all the time, 9 times out of 10, you'll probably behave the same way.
Yeah, yeah.
And you've seen people act like that. You've heard
yeah.
people mention somebody's last name, and first
Mhm.
everybody says, "Oh, you know how they are. They all crazy. You know how they are." And it's like, "Oh, okay." So it makes people literally like, "Well, do I want to go around these people because they're known to get crunk when they gather?"
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm all for people gathering because everybody deserves, you know, to gather people in their home or outside their home when it's warm. You want to go outside, turn the grill on, play a little music. But like I said, at some point it can get excessive, especially when it leaves light. It's dark. It's darker.
Yeah.
Now we're into the wee hours. You know, at some point you're going to have to turn the stereo down and the noise level down, you know.
Yeah.
Especially when your houses are close together. Like up north, the houses are very close together, like the bungalows in Chicago. There is no reprieve. You're talking about a thin sidewalk between the houses. Your neighbors can hear and see everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a terrible way to live if you're gathering outside. Yeah. And the person next door is more of a quiet type person. They don't keep a lot of company, but you got a big family or you got a lot of friends, however it go, and you like the people to come over to your house every weekend or whatever. It's probably going to be a problem for sister-in-law, Mr-in-law over next door who don't rock like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because everybody don't live the same. And that's where our problems come in. Some people are homebodies. Some people are quiet.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make a lot of noise. You don't even know they're in their house, even though their car is there, but you don't hear them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You don't hear music playing. You don't hear fussing and fighting. Then you got them other people, they crunk all the time.
Okay.
You know the kind.
Oh, yeah.
Like this trash on the 3rd floor. Every time you come outside, you got the holler to come down the stairs. Mm-hmm. Why are you hollering? You with the people. The person just left your house. So why are you hollering at them going down the stairs? They just left you. You see what I'm going?
Yeah, yeah.
Want to be seen. I can't stand people like that.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta let everybody know you woke. I know you woke. I can hear you. But why are you hollering? For what reason? I mean, that makes no sense.
Yeah,
then you get to the car, you still hollering. Then you're hollering at the fool around the corner. Why can't you just walk around to their door and talk to them? It's sad to me.
That's too much using her muscles to walk.
Well, all I can say is somebody recently came and paid her and her boyfriend a visit. It was not nice what they left behind. That seems like to me should show you might want to be quiet.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Somebody didn't like them. Oh, they left them a nice little present one morning.
Okay.
2 weeks ago. That windshield was talking.
And
left it and left what they beat it with, left it on top of the glass. I said, "Oh, shut up."
I bet you was rolling too.
I filmed it. 2 minutes for putting it on YouTube, but I said, "Don't do that. Don't do that." But baby, I sent that. I showed Nancy the video, and she's like, "Oh my God!" I said, "See what happens when you bother people? Step out of your lane. Somebody wanted to put you back in your lane, and still ain't learned nothing. Do you think I'm gonna go visit you and park my vehicle at your house, and I wake up to my windshield cracked, driver's side with a hammer? Do you actually think I'm coming back to your house?"
Oh, no.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Because that lets me know whoever was looking for me found me.
Yes.
So why am I going to come back and park my car there to bring trouble to your house? Still bringing the vehicle back and parking it. And then I overheard the chick telling the little neighbor around the corner, the older neighbor, I don't know nothing about it. And they was looking for some, I thought you with the shit too. Because you a troublemaker. Because at first I thought she had done it to her little male friend. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
But then she was telling the elderly person, oh, somebody was looking for him, but I don't know nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say, yeah, you don't never know nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Y'all trouble. Because see, next time it's going to be worse than that windshield. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Next time they're going to walk their way up to that door. There's just no way in hell I would bring my vehicle back to a place where it was vandalized. Because that means the person followed me there.
Mm-hmm.
Or they knew I was there. So that should tell you, you're going to go replace the windshield. Well, who's to say they don't come back and see you fix the windshield? You see where I'm going?
I see it.
You can't make this stuff up.
No. No.
And I'm telling you, just some low rent folks. And like I said, the neighborhood is a really nice neighborhood, beautiful. But all it takes is the one or two
Yeah.
that don't want to comply,
Yeah.
want to be street trash, and they give the area you in a bad name.
Yeah. And what's so crazy about
I'm surrounded, truthfully, I'm surrounded by nothing but houses
okay.
where I live. It's a residential area. It's homeowners. I can go walk right now. The next door neighbor, it's a homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing but houses. I mean, the people across the street, they have a Jaguar parked across the street in their driveway. So it's a nice neighborhood. But that don't got nothing to do with over here.
Mm-hmm.
Because all it takes is, like, as my mom used to say, it takes one monkey to stop the show.
Yeah, that's true.
Going on.
And sometimes what they don't realize is if it keeps going and going and going and going, then here's what happens. Property value goes down.
What are we?
Nobody don't want to, come into that area. Move into that area and stuff. So, I mean, some people look at it like...
It has a mix. It has a mix. It has, like, really nice houses down the street. One apartment complex that's deemed not great. And then down the street, around the corner, so it's another apartment or two that's deemed not great. But it's intertwined with older homes, middle-class homes. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
At the end of my street are brand new houses, custom built. And they're probably over $300,000. You understand what I'm saying? Very nice homes. I mean, beautiful. So it's a mix. But that's the problem. You can't mix everybody.
No, you can't.
And then you got people who live well and got a little pocket change, but they act like street folks. See, you can go either way.
Okay.
See, that's the thing I've learned is that I've seen some people who were well off, but they acted like trailer park trash.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know how to carry themselves. They weren't used to anything. I love people like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been stunned by some of the people. I'm like, you educated? You went to school where?
Mm-hmm.
You have a degree and you act like this? You understand what I'm saying? It takes all kinds.
Yeah, it does.
But you're right about the property value. Certain people, the way they keep up their house, their lawn, or if there's an apartment complex or townhouses mixed in and they got a lot of problem with riffraff, you're right. That would bring the value down to the people who got houses next door or a couple of houses down. That's all it takes.
Just like up in Prince George's County. Prince George's County is one of the richest counties in the state of Maryland. And you have 500,000 and 600,000 to like $250,000 homes up in Prince George's County. Now, there's an area where some of the top professional ball players and sports TV announcers that live up in that area. Okay, now it's gated. It's gated all the way around, except for one street where you can just go head on up until going up the road and go into your driveway. But other than that, their backyards is, all you see is this huge black gate, but it's covered with shrubbery and trees and everything. Because on the other side is Section 8 housing, apartments and little houses, but it's all for Section 8. But the other portion, like I said, back over the fence, now you got these $500,000, $250,000 homes, So it's like you said, you can't always put a mixture of everybody with everybody.
And that's what's sad because, like I said, you got people who are working class or trying to better themselves, and they deserve to live in a nice neighborhood. They outright deserve it. But then you got that other percentage, they're not used to nothing, and they get put in a decent neighborhood or a nice apartment, townhouse, however it go, house, whatever it is, and they act a monkey's ass, and now they're infringing on the other people who want to live cohesively, decent. And that's the problem we have in our society. Everybody cannot mix.
That's true. That is so true.
Everybody cannot mix.
That is so true. You know, but
you can't mix everybody.
You can't. You can't.
Like I said, people well off act like fools, and I've seen people who are working class, middle class, act civilly, also act a fool. It goes all different ways. Now, who damn dog out there barking like that?
You know who dog that is.
That dog, wait a minute, ain't nobody supposed to be having no big old dog like that in the building. No way. I'm just saying it sounds like it's, I don't know, I don't sound like a damn wolf. I don't know what kind of dog that is. I mean, the one person she be letting somebody bring their funky dog over here that ain't supposed to be here, but that dog sound like he angry.
You sound like he angry.
All I can say is he or she better not let the queen feet hit that pavement. Smoke in the city. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Okay, Queen. It was a gas talking to you.
It's been nice too, and I'm gonna cut this live because I gotta come back later with some extra stuff. I'm getting ready to go peep outside too myself and let my presence be known. Let them know, baby, y'all need to go sleep.
All right.
Go get you something to do.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. That was Air Force 5. Thank you so much for joining me. That's one of the mods joining me. As most of you know, John. Y'all so crazy. Anyway, I'm open my door. I live here. They don't pay no bills here. Free country. Do what I want. I thank y'all for joining me. Stanley Ford is on trial, second trial for killing 9 of his neighbors in his neighborhood in Ohio. Did he do it? Do they have the right guy? Are the witnesses telling the truth? Is he the guy on the surveillance camera that killed these 9 people? It is said that he has some issues with these people houses that he set on fire. You can catch the content on YouTube on Court TV. Please check out the content. I will post clips from the trial on my community board, as I do with my other stories that I talk about. This is a very riveting case out of Ohio. It's sad that it had to come to this. This man took the law into his own hands to handle whatever issues he was having at that time in 2016 with his neighbors. And as I say, we've all lived that life of being around people we did not like or care for or didn't get along with, or they were causing us issues, problems, noise, whatever the situation is. But you know that it is not right for you to put your hands on people unless they pass the lick first. Then you handle your business and pray to God you're in a stand your ground state, which Tennessee is a stand your ground state. That's why it's always best when you start having problems with people, always report it to the law first. You see, there's a catch to standing your ground and getting away with putting your hands on somebody. You report it, and you report it. And that way, you step outside that door, something jumps out, you already in the system for having a problem with your neighbors. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to bet on the first jump off, which led to death. Just telling you. Because there are a lot of people who have gotten time for allegedly defending themselves. The law said, or the 12 members of the jury said, no, this was like cold-blooded murder. I pray that none of you ever have to go through this to where you have to put your hands on a neighbor for any reason. I always say that when it gets to the point to where you are even thinking of revenge or doing something heinous to another person in your neighborhood, part of the complex, however it goes, it's probably time for you to find you somewhere else to live, because it's not worth you doing time or getting the death penalty for harming another human being or more just get your luggage and get on. Because in the end, depending on how it's set up, you have no control over people and how they act and how they're going to react. And if you know yourself, you know your temperament, that you can't deal with a lot of foolishness, a lot of noise, a lot of traffic, you probably best find you a place where you don't have a lot of neighbors in front of you, beside you, and behind you. So you can keep a peace of mind and keep your freedom. If you want to donate to the channel and the dream, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you for joining me. God bless you. The next live will be an upload, and it'll be pertaining to what happened in court today, pertaining to Robert Kelly. As you know, he's standing trial in Brooklyn, New York for various charges such as racketeering and sex trafficking charges. I will bring you an upload a little bit later once all the information has been tallied up for the day. I have another video pertaining to R. Kelly that's already in the queue, and I have also a video, a two-part compilation of a woman discarding a backpack in Virginia in a garbage can behind the Gabe shopping store. And also an African-American female has been identified. Her body was discarded in Lake Michigan, and she was with child, and her identity has been disclosed to the public. When I get an update to who put that child and her baby out there in that water, I will bring you an update, and I will bring you an update to the identity of the woman who's on surveillance camera going into a store or exiting a store after discarding human remains in a dumpster behind the store in Virginia. Chesterfield, Virginia is where this story is deriving out of. I thank you all for following the content. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you, new subscribers. Thank you, Mr. John, for joining me. Hello, ACY. How are you doing? I've heard a little bit about that, AC. When I get more information, I'll go live about that tonight. And if I drop the link, please hit the panel. You all are not hitting the panel. You're taking up a lot of my time to be on live and not engage in the conversation. I realize a lot of you are just picking and choosing which subjects you want to give your opinion about. It's not really helpful to me because this is part of my job, what I do here. So it's to the point now that I'll just be uploading content because I don't have time to sit and go live every video, and there's not any interaction on the panel. I brought you this story with a link because I felt like maybe some of you had testimonies you wanted to bring, pertaining to having issues with neighbors, because I know most of us have had, some type of issue with a neighbor. This man, Mr. Ford, Stanley Ford, is standing trial in Ohio for killing 9 people. He set their homes on fire. He set an SUV on fire. He also killed 5 children in this mass killing in the neighborhood. Did he do it? Do they have the right man on trial? Did Stanley Ford kill those 9 people? Or is this a case of mistaken identity, or he is a scapegoat? Weigh in, hit my community post. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you, ACY and AC. Thank you for the donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Miss Heidi, for the donation. God bless all of you. Stay safe. It's hump day in America. Queen will be back. So she goes get the 411 on that mess out in Hollyville. I'll be back. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, John, for joining me. Air Force, thank you all. God bless all of you. Stay safe. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Be safe.